Now you have a possibility to estimate if exceeding the speed limit looks dangerous or not. While you are watching this video, I will tell you some ideas of speed limits and speeding. The official traffic organizations claim that even a minor exceeding of the speed limit is always dangerous, regardless of the driver's skills or the features of the vehicle or the conditions on the road. These organizations also insist that the speed limits cannot be wrong, because the authorities who installed them represent the highest possible wisdom and knowledge of traffic. The democracy is absolutely out of the question when the traffic is concerned, they say. The authoritative traffic organizations also argue that because the saving of time by speeding is only a minute or two at best, it is meaningless and there is no reason to exceed the speed limits. The official traffic organizations, of course, do not mention any positive effects of speeding. They do not tell that the drivers, who never exceed the speed limits, are often dangerous drivers in winter, when the roads are icy and slippery. They drive generally so slow that they seldom get into situations on icy roads, when special skills are needed to control the car. And when they finally face this kind of situation, they do not have reflexes to do the right thing, and this can lead to a fatal road accident. Many drivers, who consider themselves to be safe and law-obeying citizens, are killed in traffic accidents every winter because of their own mistakes. They also cause deaths of other people. The speeders, especially if they drive a lot, are underrepresented in wintertime accident statistics. This is a fact which the official traffic organizations do not tell in their propaganda. Or is it really so that the skills of the driver mean nothing? And is it true that the experience, which has been achieved by driving hundreds of thousands of miles, means nothing? Is driving a motor vehicle the only thing in the world in which you are always as good or as bad as you were when you finished the school and passed the exam? Or are this kind of claims ridiculous? The truth is that you can develop your skills as a driver, if you want. Unfortunately, developing your skills above a certain limit means that you regularly exceed the speed limits or are rich enough to buy a license to use a racing track where you can practice. There are no other ways to become a skillful driver. Unless, of course, if you believe the claim of the traffic organizations, that a skill to drive a car means a skill to watch the speedometer and the skill to notice the speed limit signs, and the skill to adjust the gas pedal so that the car does not exceed the speed limit. Speaking about speed limits, is it true that the authorities possess a divine wisdom and knowledge so that they, and they only, are able to determine what is the right speed limit to a right place? This is not true. Speed limits are sometimes altered without any real reason. In this year the speed limit in some place may be lower than it was in last year, and in the next year it may be again higher than it was in this year. Sometimes looks like the authorities do not know what they are doing. Sometimes the reason for a speed limit can be political and not associated with safety in any way. And sometimes the authorities tell obvious lies when they explain why a lower speed limit is necessary. And the so-called fact that you cannot save time by speeding is also misleading. In a short distance you can, of course, save only a small amount of time, but during a year you can easily save more than 100 hours if you drive a lot. If your average speed increases from 30 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour, you save 143 hours if you drive 30,000 miles in a year. 143 hours makes almost 18 full working days. It certainly is a lot more than the few minutes, which you are supposed to save, if you believe what the official traffic organizations are saying. I am not agitating you to exceed the speed limits, because I don't want to get into trouble. But if you are exceeding speed limits now or then, or even regularly, it is good to know that in the ethical point of view, there is nothing wrong in speeding if you drive carefully and do not cause any danger to others. Speeding in itself does not mean dangerous driving.